Howdy, beautiful Bart here, and welcome. You'll have to bear with me. I've got a bit of a head cold, all the changing weather back and forth. But let's do some stuff. Alright, ignore this guy right here. We'll remake him, so let's see what we're doing here. First thing that I did was, well, I've had to change a few of the stats around, and you can still knock down those targets. These still move just a little bit, and so does that. That still works fine, and that works fine, and that works fine. But again, ignore him, we'll remake him. What I've had to do here is go into the player, and I want to try to get the weapon damage to a more realistic state. Not gonna happen the way that I wanted, but we'll just make do. Weapon damage I turned down to initially 25. That was no bueno. So to get any kind of reaction out of the reactor targets, I had to set it to 1,000. It was initially set to like 500,000, which was a bit much. So I turned it down to 1,000, and it's working. So in our stats for our weapon damage in our player character, weapon damage is now 1,000. Okay, so with that change also, the targets. Exploding barrel has health of 10. Okay, the reason why I did that was, well, initially I set the damage to, you can set this now to anything up to but less than 1,000, or you can set it at whatever you want and shoot it as many times you need to get less than 0 health. But 10 health is fine for right now. I did the same thing on the other exploding tank, and for these targets the same thing. Since they didn't have health to begin with, what I've had to do was go to the actual target itself, set the mass down to 10 kilograms. With the lower mass, 1,000 damage was still able to kind of do the same amount of movement as before, and in our bots. And what I'll do is I will recreate this one, but show you what I did was I gave them a health, and I set it to 4,000. One bullet does 1,000 damage, so for right now it takes 4 shots to kill our player. So it's the same basic principle we did before. Event any damage, and we got a health, and let's go ahead and let's do it. I'm going to right click on our test bot, and I am going to duplicate and call him test bot 2. We're going to go into him, put your ass up there, so we know the difference between the two. Go to our viewport, and we'll change him to the redneck male. Good enough. Now we can go back into our event graph, and I've already got that in here, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it and remake it so you know what we're doing. So event any damage, we'll start with that node. We want to make sure we give our guy health, and that health we're going to set to 4,000. Well, let's just set it to 1,000 to start off with, and we'll bump it back up again so that we can accomplish a couple different things. So what we want to do now is get a reference to our health. Get health. Drag off from here, and we want to do float minus float, and we want to take damage and punch it into there, and we want to hold down the control key or alternate key, excuse me, and left click and drag it in there so we can set our health now to this new value. Alright, now what we want to do is I'm going to drag out from here, and we want to get a reference to our health, and this is our current health system, and from there we can do it all on this line because we don't have anything else. So we'll take this, and we're going to see if our current health now is type in float. We want to get is less than or equal to 0. And you guessed it, a branch node. Connect that. Connect that. Now, if our health is equal to or less than 0, then for now, what we want to do is destroy actor. And we're going to change that. We're going to do some more cool stuff with that. But let's compile and save. And let's go ahead and drop testbot2 into the map. So rotate him around a little bit. And let's hit play. So now we come in here and no problem. Blow up. Blow up. Shoot him one time and wow, we did 1,000 damage to him and he fell over and just disappeared. So that works. So let's go ahead and now change his health to 2,000. Well, let's change it to 4,000 to simulate 4 times being hit. Alright. So now his health is 4,000. If we go in and he'll be just like this other guy. He'll take 4 hits. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, okay, sorry, I was looking at the ammo count. We don't get a score for him dying. So we want to make it so we can get a score. So let's go into our bot, and with that, and where we have our destroy actor, let's actually create a custom event. Call it death. Oh, pardon the sniffles. Taking all kind of cold medication. Been in bed all freaking day long. And we're going to get rid of destroy actor. And let's hit compile, save, drag off from here, and add our death function in right there. So we can actually do that. So with that, the first thing we want to do is cast to first person character. And get player character. Alright, reason why we're going to do that is we're going to get our score, and then we're going to plus, so it'll be integer plus integer, and 1 is just fine. And we want to set score to that new number. So we're going to get score for killing the bad guy, but then we're going to make it cool for death animations and all that kind of stuff. So now, you know, shoot that, we get a point. Shoot that, get a point. That. And we can shoot both of these. Shooting them multiple times won't increase our count. Shooting that guy won't give us a score because we're doing this guy. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we just ended off there with that. So we then need to destroy actor. So we can't keep shooting homeboy and collect points. So get rid of it. There we go. Alright, so we got our score for killing the bad guy, and he vanishes, so that works. So now let's start adding some cool death animations. In our animation starter pack that we added before, we have death. We got this death, and that's cool. close our bot so we can just scroll through our different death animations. Got that one. This guy, I like that one. Let's go with death 3. But I'm going to get it, and we're going to do something here. We're going to go to our animations for our assets, and we're going to right click, give it a new folder, death, because we need to retarget this. So we'll go in here and get death 3 and right click on it, retarget to our polygon skeleton, and let's change our location where we're going to target it to assets, animations, death, okay, and retarget. Now let's take a look at it, and there we go. That's lovely. I'm actually going to rename it to just death, so we don't have any misconceptions of what it is. So I'm going to go in here, and that's that. That works. So now if we go back into our bot, our test bot, instead of destroy actor, which we will at some point, we want to play animation with a mesh reference, so that we're sure that we're doing it to our guy here. Our animation we're going to do is death, compile and save. So we'll take a look at that now and see if it actually works. Blow up a barrel, there we go. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got score, and he does the animation. Since we're not trying to respawn him or do anything else with him right now, then yay, he's dead. Whereas this guy, he just disappears. So that's cool. So what we can do is create the same basic system here. We want to go into our bot master, and not the ass master, but the bot master, and now we can do basically the same thing if we wanted to for the guy that's roaming around. We can grab this guy, copy, set his health to 4,000, and let's paste that in here. So now we have death system. That's not going to work yet because we haven't created that custom event. Custom event death. Now we can actually put that in here. True death. And now just essentially copy that and paste that. So now it's going to work for that guy. We can actually get rid of testbot 1. We'll worry about him later. Bye. See ya. You're out of here. Alright, so let's play again. So this roaming guy, and see, he's going to keep moving. He doesn't know that he's dead, so he's still going to move. He's still going to have the ability to move. So we need to go back in here to our our bot master, and we need to also do a few more things. So our death system here, we're telling him to play this animation here, and that's good. But after the score point, let's go ahead and grab this guy. Let's move him over to here. We'll move him back in just a moment. So at this point, we need to get a reference to our character movement. And Let's try the deactivate and see if that works. So we got to stop him from moving so he doesn't keep running around while he's dead. There we go. So he's dead. He's not going anywhere. But he just flopped. Why'd you flop around? Why are you moving? Okay. So that would be a bug that we would need to address here. We can keep shooting his butt and he'll just keep on dying because, well, Unreal Engine 4. So is dead. We'll create a variable called isDead. And from there, I guess the best thing to do is just, like we did here, we asked if he is walking. We'll just grab another branch. And get rid of that and go from false to here. And we'll just ask, is he dead? And we'll probably end up putting that in one more spot. And let's go from here and set is dead to true. This is going to help us to prevent him from being able to walk or move at any point whatsoever. And just so we can keep this from happening, if we wanted to, we could set it up here as well. Just add it inside here. Throw that branch node in. And again, we want to break that and go from false. Because if he's not dead, then we want him to die or take damage. So now, this should prevent us from being able to shoot him and keep killing him after he's dead. Out the way, barrel. So, we're not going to get any more score after that. All we're going to do is waste ammo shooting a dead guy. Howdy, howdy, howdy. So him are dead. So, and him are dead. So now we can kill the bad guys. Well, they're just going to lay there and be dead forever. So here's where you have to decide in your own game, is that okay? Do you want this corpse to stay there forever? Or do you want him to go away? We're going to get the score for killing him. So let's actually hit play again. We'll run around. Come on, shift F1 to go away. So we have no score. Got 1 point, 2 points, 3, 4. We don't get more score because we keep shooting the same target over and over. Blow up the drum, get a score. Blow up the propane tank, get a score. Shoot you in the face and kill you. You dead. I got a point for killing you dead. And this guy over here, you dead. And got a point. Oh, I keep forgetting that I put this sound cue with attenuation over here in this corner. So as I'm running around the test map, I was like, I hear music. I'm hearing things. So let's get rid of our bodies, get rid of our corpses here. So with our our bot master, and our death sequence. All right, you did lovely. You can go back over here now. We're going to put in a delay. Let's let it have 5 seconds, and then we can destroy actor. And I'm going to Control C, so I can copy that in my bot master, go to my test bot, and my death function, and paste it inside here. So now that's going to work on both. Yeah, it's a pretty good idea. I mean, I can work on that here in just a second. Let's finish killing our bots. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys are dead separately from each other. 5 seconds after you die, you disappear. So that cleans up our map, so we won't have 900 corpses laying around. Yay! Dodgeball. One thing I do want to add in is a rate of fire limiter really quickly. That way you're not sitting here and going, that's just kind of tacky. So let's temporarily close up our assets. Go to our player, first person character, and got all this stuff on the shooting stuff. You know what? I totally don't care about touch input. I hope this isn't going to piss off anybody that wants to play on this demo. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Get rid of the touch stuff. No touching. No touchy for you. Sorry, I have all this stuff here. And this is all part of that shooting. This long string right here. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to bring it down over here. And at some point, we really got to go through this and clean it up. Because it is really starting to get packed up in here. And we got to, yeah, we grab you, throw you underneath here, grab you, throw you underneath here. I don't normally do that, but when you have this much stuff being piled up into one, it's actually probably not a bad thing to start compacting and cleaning up, because your blueprints are going to start looking like some major pasta dish action going on here. So I just want to drag this out for just a moment, and we're going to add another branch in, and we are going to add in can shoot, compost, and save. And now let's put in that. So the first thing we're going to ask when we left click that mouse button, you can still more or less do the same thing if you start packing things into custom events. If you go through all this and you think about your layout of things, and that's what I'm going to end up doing at some point, is adding things in as custom events. Because then once you create a custom event, then you just plug in that module. And you could have 900 things inside that custom event, including delays, and it still could just take out one little node space that can be compacted. But like this guy right here can go right there. These guys can come down. This can come down. So yeah, I mean, there's ways. There's multiple ways of skinning this cat. It's like you could take this. You're asking if you have enough ammo to shoot. Then at that point, you could combine the can shoot with the ammo, and everything else can all be combined together if you wanted to. But not going to matter all that much right now. We're still getting functionality in. Get everything working the way that you want to, and then come back in and compact it in as you go. See, like, you got this right here. This would bug me to no end that it is not straight across there. There's actually a, you can highlight everything and select straighten, and it will actually align your nodes together and actually help to neaten up things. I don't use it that often because I have my own particular flavor of doing things, my own weirdness levels. Like that. See, it just bugs me whenever things aren't lined up as neatly as they could be. I know. Do this crap on your own time, Captain OCD. So what we need to do right now is figure out where we need to put in the our stuff for when we can actually say, okay, it's okay to shoot again. Alright, this is close enough. Like I said, I will have to do this off camera because it will bug me to no end until I get all this perfectly lined up. So where along this huge monstrosity of a line can we now say it's okay to shoot? Because we're asking all the way at the beginning, can we shoot? Wow. Let's look for any delays in here, and there should not be any delays anywhere. So, scrolling through here, everything is good. Applying damage, just doing all that thing. So, technically speaking, we could, at this point, let's see what happens if we just do it in here. Set a delay. And how fast do we want to be able to pull the trigger? Well, for now, let's give it a 1 second delay between shots, and then we will set can shoot to true. So at the start of it, we ask, can we shoot? If the answer is yes, then go through all this stuff. And then at yeah, another thing we can do here is we're asking, can we shoot? Right now, we won't be able to shoot at all because we didn't say that it was okay. But we can actually go in here, can shoot, and make that variable true by default. So let's see what happens here. What in the immortal hell was that about? That didn't work. So let's try unchecking it. So let's see what we got with it unchecked. So we cannot shoot at all. And now let's actually set it to true by default. So we've already asked, can we shoot? Yes. And if we can shoot, then let's go ahead and set can shoot to false. So we're able to okay, we just were able to shoot a couple shots, and then now we can't shoot because we damaged something. Let's actually take that, setting it to can shoot to true, and let's actually put it in right here before we worry about all the damage stuff. And really and truly, all we care about is setting up a delay somewhere in here of 1 second. And then saying that we can. So let's actually come back in here. We set it to there, and let's try it right here. I've never done this before this way, so what the hell? Put a delay, and then from here, let's set can shoot to true. So what the hell? We have a yes or no question. Can we shoot? Yes, then shoot. And then say can't shoot. But then let's put it at 1 second. So now, a second after we ask this question, after we left click the first time, we won't be able to, it'll automatically set it to can shoot seconds later. Doesn't matter if you miss or hit. We have a delay. So I like that, but I'm going to actually set it to 0.5. Give us a little bit faster shooting without being spamming. Alright, that's good enough. So, a timer, you say? Sorry. It's damn cold. Let's put the timer where that stamina bar is. So, let's actually go to our widgets, HUD, and we'll get rid of our stamina bar for now. We'll go into our graph. Let's actually get rid of that. So now we have no stamina in our HUD. What do you think? Put it right here in the center on the top for a timer. Let's grab. And first things first. Let's grab an image. And let's make it size of 200 by 100. Anchor it to the top center. That way we can do position of -100 by 50. And our color and opacity right there. So now we can actually start putting text. Now, do we need to say, if we see a countdown, do we need to have anything saying, oh, this is the time remaining? We can tell the player, this is what this is. And let's do, we'll do it in seconds. Yeah, I'll outline everything with a C letter for a comment block, but another thing that I like to do is whenever I'm actually doing those comment blocks, say just for an example, for this one, which I'll probably end up deleting it and redoing it anyway. So I'll highlight everything that I want together. I'll hit C, and we'll call this our shooting stuff. But what I'll do is I'll click on that, and I'll go to comment color, and that should be red. So put red 1, green 0, blue 0, And what the heck? Let's throw it up here. So now we know that that's a big red ass block. That is for something that's damage doing. Whereas walking, we can come in here and just make that green. And this is a scope, so we can actually scope gun related stuff. Let's give it a bluish purple look. Jump, we can assign colors to everything separately. So when you're zoomed all the way out, like, okay, you've got an entire page full of spaghetti noodles. Oh god, what is what? Oh, okay, this red, this must be damage stuff. So, oh yeah, this is shooting stuff. So then you can go in there and be able to see what you're doing. So let's close that guy down, go back in here, and we need to make sure we anchor this to top center. So our text here, we want our text to actually say 999 because we're going to have 3 digits, and go into our font and now let's try it at 75. And we just wanted to kind of fill in this area right here. That's close enough for government work. So it doesn't matter where all that lays. So we see that we just have 999 up there. That's going to be the amount of time that we have. Compile, save. Now we need to do a binding for it. So let's click on our text here. Now this, we should be giving names to everything. The more we're adding stuff in, we need to start applying names to it, but I'm not going to get into that right now. Create a binding. And get text don't work for me. Get time remaining. Alright, so for right now, we don't have a variable. We don't have a system of counting time. So where do we want to put that? Do we want to put that in our player character, or we want to put this on our map? Which might be the best thing to do. Let's apply this to our map. Let's see if we can do that. Go to our blueprints. Now let's actually just put it inside another variable. Where would be the best time? Well, we want it to work only for our shooting range map. We wouldn't want this to show up in our normal gameplay, so we only want this to work in our demo. So let's go to our shooting range. And we know that we have 25 points available because, we have 25 targets. But let's go ahead and add in, just for now, let's put testbot 2 in here. So we can actually put targets. And I'm going to actually lower the health on our bots down to 500. One shot's going to do it. We just want to shoot our players, and if we wanted to, we could actually replace our shooting range to not have these targets, but have human-looking targets. So as we were playing here, we shot our bad guy. He's gone. So we're getting score, but we're not getting any time remaining because we haven't set that variable yet. So here's what we can do. You suck, shut up. He's going to Thailand. which is where I want to go. It's where I want to live. Love you, Draco. Especially when it's cold outside. Oh, I'm sorry. Get back to what I was doing here. Let's do this. Since we only want this timer to work in our shooting range map, let's set up a variable in our level blueprints on event begin play, and we need our player character open. And let's add another variable in. We need to clean these guys up here too. But we'll worry about that later. Let's add a variable in on no, wait a minute, has timer. Compile, save. And in our HUD here, we'll come back and we'll do some fancy functionality later. But we wanted that time. We want to say it has timer inside of our player character. Let's save that. Let's close our player character. Now on our map blueprint, we want to cast to our, what the hell are we? First person character. And we want to get player genitals. I mean, get player characters. Yeah, so Draco, if you're still watching, yeah, I'll think of the name of the food and I'll remind you to try it. Tell me how it tastes and tell me what the correct ingredients are. It's lutmau, lot mu is how I've heard it pronounced. It's a pork dish. So yeah, I tried to make it the other day and I don't have the full ingredients list. You explain to me later on how it tastes. It's like lime and certain other stuff too, but and cilantro and pork and whatnot. But yeah. So as our first person character, we want to set has timer to true. So that's going to activate the timer. So let's compile and save that. So now in here we want to go ahead and create this element. So what we want it to do is when we're actually in here playing, we don't want that black bar to be up there if we're not on a map that has the ability to shoot. I don't like this rate of fire. So let's, I'm sorry, I worked hard to get this rate of fire thing set in here. For right now, let's just take it to 0.01. I don't care. We're just going to dump that down. And let's see if that... Yes, that's much better. Guess having the timer isn't really that big of a deal. I mean, for the shooting rate of fire, but it'll come in handy if you're trying to set up a bolt action rifle. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something to make that target more noticeable whenever you shoot it. Yeah, this, the whole rate of fire thing, I think I'm going to take it out. For testing and all, it's just going to be problematic. Because we don't have an animation system for shooting. So, yeah, we know how that works. So I think the can shoot this stuff, dump it. Yeah, we don't need any of that anymore. So we just take you and throw you all the way up into there. And that should be good. Sorry, I'm just sidetracked now because... Alright, it's good enough. So let's finish our timer. We've got our head sitting up here, and we need to get our time. But one of the things that I want to do is I want to make sure that this image is a variable and this text is a variable. Now let's go into here, go back to our event graph, and probably be able to run this off of pre-construct or construct. I'm not sure which. Let's try it off of called by both the game and the editor. It's basically like the event begin play. So we want to cast to first cast to first person character. If I only knew how to spell. Get player character. We want to get has timer, and then I know a branch node that would go lovely there. So we want to find out if we have a timer or not. Compile and save. If so, then we want, and let's go ahead and give these correct names here. Image, we want timer BG, and we want timer. Compile and save. So now when we're in here, we can see timer and timer BG. So I'm going to get a reference to both of these two guys. Get and get your ass up there is what you need to get. Alright, so if we do have a timer, then we want to set visibility to true. So let's actually go in here and visibility hidden on both of these. Visibility hidden. Compile and save. So technically speaking, we don't see anything. We don't have that number up there because we haven't told it to do anything with it just yet. So we don't have that timer section up there unless we're on a map that actually has it and allows us to use it. Make sense? If it's true, we want to set visibility, and we'll link both of them in there to visible. So now if we hit compile and save, if we go in here, this map has a timer. So there we go. We have a timer window up there. We just need to create the numbers that are going to be there. So we're going to create a variable, max time, and we're going to make that to be a integer. Compile, save, scroll down. We're going to set this time to 120. That's 2 minutes. Gives us 2 minutes to clear this map. Actually, yeah, that's fine. We'll come back, we'll change this for functionality for testing so that we can see if time is we have time remaining. So with our max time, and now we want to get another variable, remaining time. Compile and save. Remaining time is 0. So this is pretty much our event pre-construct. And what we want to do is we want to just start the timer. So for now, we're just going to start it off from the get-go. What you would probably want to do is set it up to where you freeze your player in place, and the player can't do anything until 30 seconds after the map starts. That would mean that if you're having someone playing on a potato is taking forever to load into the game, then I guess I could turn some light on here. So it would kind of compensate for it. If someone's on a potato and it's not loading fast enough, the timer won't be ticking away as they're trying to see the map that's already loaded up. But we're not going to worry about that for right now. I'm not on a potato, so we will use these two variables, and let's actually get our time remaining. Let's see if we can add that functionality in here. Don't know if it'll let me. Yeah, see, it's not going to let me put a delay node directly in there. So in our event begin play, which we don't have, we'll actually set up event pre-construct, is probably going to work. I don't know. I've never done it this way before. So we'll run, at this point, we'll start our timing. So what we're going to have to do is, I'm going to go ahead and get remaining time and max time. And I'm going to go ahead and set remaining time to Ask Clown, get up there, to max time. And from there, that's just going to start us off with at 120. So we're going to use this variable. We're going to get there. We just want to break down and show functionality here as we go. So what we'll do is we'll get remaining time and link that into here. And let's see if it'll show that as our time. So we start 120. There we go. We have 120 seconds to get this puppy running. So that works. It's showing our remaining time. So now what we want to do here is we want to run a delay if we can. Yes, we can. Delay. We want to add that as 1 second. We want to get a reference to our remaining time, and we also want to set remaining time. So we're going to set our remaining time to our remaining time, take away 1. So every second it should do that. So in theory now, and I'm just going to bring this up here just so we have some elevation, we can see that we're looping that to there. So now if we play, it's not counting down. We want it to actually work. That would be lovely. We're just getting a reference to our max time and setting that to that. So we're fine there. We're going to run delay, and then we're going to set remaining time to that. we're setting our time after 1 second. We're doing that. We can't run it off of that. Okay. No problem. No problem. We'll run this off an event tick. So what we're going to do here is get our time remaining. We're going to set our time remaining. We're going to run a delay. And we are going to set that to 1 second. We are going to set this to doing it this way. And then we can loop it back around. So now our timer is ticking down every 1 second. Alright, so we now have a timer, but what's going to happen is whenever it gets to 0, it's going to start counting backwards. -1, -2, -3, -4. So we have to then clamp it. So let's break that. And let's actually see what we can do here, because we have to clamp this value and then we need to loop it back again. So let's actually take that, and we're going to go ahead and start it off that by elevating it. Then what we're going to do here is we're going to check to see if remaining time. So we could drag in a new one, but we're not. For right now, what we want to do is we will get a reference to this from here, and we want to do integer. We're going to do it this way in case we decide later on to have a penalty. If you miss a shot, it takes away a second from your time. So you lose time by missing. If we wanted to do something like that, we want to have the ability to, penalize. So we want to ask, is our remaining time less than or equal to 0? Branch node. And at this point, if it is not equal to 0, so it is not less than or equal to 0, then we can loop back to here. If it is, then we're going to set remaining time. For right now, we're just going to set it to 999. Just so we have this big, huge, weird, oh no, we've run out of time. This is where you would be doing your run out of time sequence. So now we're going to be able to run. It's going to check, and I'm going to play through here and get these awesome points and zoom in with my sniper scope. Yay, perfect score so far. I'm going to keep hitting the wrong key. I've been playing way too much damn Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And still loving it, by the way. Still got to do something to these targets because they don't move enough now. These, they fall over. We know that we've hit them. So, that's fine. Shoot you, and you, and you, and you. And then get rid of that pesky other exploding barrel that was hiding right there. So we still got a minute left. We got plenty of time. Jump over the obstacle. Shoot you in the face. So we still had 39 seconds left over. Perfect score of 26. So this is where I would assume you would actually go ahead and set up a nice big if score equals to 26 or 412 or whatever you set your scoring as. So if you're shooting propane tanks, they're worth 2 points, and these guys are worth 5 points or whatever. But you set up a score system and a score sheet at the end. So bang, there we go. And for right now, it's just going to roll back over because we don't have anything in here that says, hey, you won. So we could actually come back in here and say, we can grab this. Actually, we don't even need to create a new one. As first-person character, we could come over here and actually, no, we can actually do this right here. We can grab one of these, Control C, Control V, and off of the true, at the end of our time, we can just grab these two guys that are already up here and set visibility to hidden. So at the end of our countdown timer, and let's actually shorten it up. Well, yeah, whatever. We could talk as we're doing this. So what will happen now is at the end of the 120 seconds for right now, the little timer block will just disappear. Grab some more ammo. Shot bad guy. So what I would do is set up an actual screen system, like a whole new widget saying, hey, this is the end of match results, and I know that I hit those guys and the score reflects it, but I will come up with another idea for a hit result showing that we actually hit it. It might actually be a good idea to look into doing a hit marker. So when we hit, wherever we shoot, it'll leave like a splat mark or a damage mark of some kind, a bullet hole, something that shows that we actually hit our target. It's like with the player, we can see him. He's standing there, and then we can shoot him in the face, and he falls down. But these two targets that are hiding behind here, the spring targets, they just don't spring enough. I could actually add more spring to them. And what I would think of for this, we have 30 rounds of ammunition. You have 30 per magazine count. We could actually take that away, take this guy off the map, and then limit us to 30 rounds. That way, see our timer, it went away. So we don't have that up on our screen anymore. But at that same location, like I said, this is where I would go ahead and set up an end screen result of triggering something here in the third person or our player character, like we did here. We're checking to see if we have a timer. Same thing right there. We could also set match results or display match results when we get to this point right here. And that being the case in our character, and we can hide all these in different ways. So we'll throw in here match result It doesn't matter. I mean, we call it whatever we want here. We're just throwing a Boolean in here. And what we want to do is on event tick, for right now, we can set this up here. In fact, let's just leave it right over here for now because we can do custom events. Make a custom event, and we'll call this result screen. And in our result screen, I would say go to our widgets, widget blueprint, results, W, and for right now, just so that I can have something in here, I'm going to grab that, I'm going to make that go full screen, and I'm going to do that, and we're going to change the color to that. Another way, we could have also made it like a blurry look like we did for the menu system, but you know, we just want something to cover the whole screen, and I'm just going to throw something in here. Yeah, game over. Anchor that to the center of the screen. Center it. That looks lovely. I would actually do a lot more than this inside here. I am just trying to screw it. Let's just do it like that. Good enough. We just want something to pop up on the screen to let us know that the game's over. We could put in here score. And that would just be let's grab in here. Actually, let's anchor this one. See, you're making me get more and more inclusive into this. But what I'll do is after each one of these times that I do these updates on here, then I will come back in and update the version that I put on itch.io. Yeah, timer works just fine. So, but what we're going to do here now is just with this is let's put in, this is anchored to the center. We want this to be 50. We want to anchor this to the right. We want us to say final score. And this is going to look absolutely tacky for right now, but I don't care. Final score. And we want that to just be to the left of the center of the screen. And I'm going to come in here also and add one more text. Actually, we'll do this. We'll Control C, we'll copy and paste. So it's already going to have the anchor to the center and everything else. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to anchor to the left. And we're going to change that to 999. And we're going to change that to yellow. So that doesn't matter. So now, game over, final score, blah, you know. So then we take this right here and create a binding for this text. And We want to cast to player character. No, shithead. Cast to first person character. I'm looking for player underscore base, which is what I always use for my player characters. Get player character. We're going to grab our score and we are going to throw it into the screen there. So that's going to tell us what our final score is. Compile and save. So results widget is done enough for now. So what we want to do is create widget. We want that to be our result widget. We want to get player controller. Then we want to add to viewport. It's going to throw widgets on top of widgets on top of widgets, but whatever. Run a branch here. Do this, and we will do this. If batch results is equal to true, then we want to, the hell did I call you? Result screen. So we'll throw that inside here. So we'll run this custom event whenever match results comes back true. And this is telling it to from right here. We want to set match results to true. But we're going to also want to, at this point, let's give us some more room to work with on this. Get a reference to our character movement and deactivate. And we don't have the can shoot is not in there anymore, so we would want that in there so we can stop us from shooting. But for right now, let's see what this does. This should, whenever we get the end of our timer, it's going to run down. It's going to get rid of that portion on the screen for these two. But it's also going to tell us to run this guy, because it's going to ask here, is match results equal to true? If so, then run that widget. So whatever, let's give it a try. So we have 120 seconds. Let's kill some bad guys. Now, here with that same system we just did with our timer and all, if we know that we only have 30 rounds of ammunition, we could as well, if ammo equals 0, then end match. So same thing, if we're out of ammo, then we're just screwed anyway, right? There's no point continuing on if we no longer have ammo. Alright, you need to die, and die. We're running. Yay, we're at the end. So, we have 2 rounds left out of 30. We have a score of 26. Somehow, I don't know how my math works, but yeah. If we run out of ammo, then we know that it's game over at that point. If we can set it up to be that way, and we had still a lot of time left over. But well, now that we have the ability to kill our AI, we can actually start populating them. And the next big trick is we need to... I say we because we have a mouse in our damn pocket. My ass needs to hurry up and finish populating the last of this map. And yeah, that stuff. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Bink, game over. Final score 26. Close enough for government work, right? We can still shoot, so that's where we want to come back over here. And let's set can shoot to false. And we'll just come back over here and throw that back in there. And we'll add that branch. And just ask, can we shoot? If the answer is yes, then go do your thing. So now at the end of the match, when we're at that result screen, we're not going to be able to shoot anymore. And we're not going to be able to move. So that's that. We now have a timer system that goes to a nice little lovely cool thing. But we see that we have that timer and everything's working great on here. So let's do a save all. Make sure everything's good to go on that. Let's go to a different map. Let's go to our test map. This map doesn't have a timer. So, since there's time remaining is equal to 0, that's a problem. I'm glad I decided to check that. Because our first person character right here, we have match results. And... okay, so our widgets for our HUD and our graph right here, we're asking if we have a timer. And if we don't have a timer, then yeah, it just ends the match. So we got to fix it real quick. Get player character, has timer, true, set those to there. Set time remaining to max time. Yeah, let's see, in our first person character on event tick, we're asking match results here. That's fine, but event tick, if time remaining is 0, because there is no time remaining, and this is built into the HUD, it's running the match results. So I would say let's run a branch here, stick this here. I'm going to grab this from this has timer, connect it into here. So it's going to ask, does it have a timer here before it concludes that. So this stuff only works, and should only work, there we go, if we have a timer. So that timer, yay, and there was much rejoicing. So we don't have a timer on this map, so that's good to go. So now anytime we want to add a timer to our map, then all we have to do is go into, and let's close these guys down so we're all good to go. Go into our range map. This one has a timer, so let's go to our blueprints, open level blueprint. If we want our map to have a timer, then this is all we have to do, is go into the map itself, and in the event graph, add in that. Event begin play, cast a first person character, set has timer. Boom, there you go. So now if we don't want it to work, see, we go into this map and start playing, we see we have a timer. It's up there on the top of the screen. That's cool. We go to level 1. And we hit play. We don't have a timer. Yay. We still have our sprint. Still have our super slow walk. We don't have a crouch, but we do have a jump. Shoot. We don't have any targets here, so yeah, there's no way of scoring. Now, if we go over here, there is a... Come on, sprint. Run faster, 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 faster. We're going to get out of this video. There is a shooting range over here, but since these targets are not set up like the other ones, they'll fall over, but we're not in this map for score. We can't even fit through the damn door because we're fat. We're just fat and stupid and ugly, and we can't fit through the door. Fat people need love too. So, oh no, we're out of ammo, and there is no ammo left on the map anywhere. So, yeah. That's that. So, we can go back to our range map and hit play, and since this one has a timer, it's going to give us a timer. Yay. And it was much rejoicing. Alright, so what I'll do here is I will come up with a nice way of making that other target reactive. More reactive. It just kind of bounces. I'll add some more bounce to it. And I'll probably add a hit marker so that we know that we hit it. We can later on add some functionality to our end match screen. Change weapons. Whatever. You guys let me know what you want to see. And if you don't want this to be a first person and single player only... Uh-oh. Middle target's missing. He fell down already. So we're only going to have 25 for a score. Yep, because... try to cheat. Wall hacks. Yeah, I can't get up there. No hacks for you. Can only get a score of 25 because the gravity of these pop-up targets. I say I'll probably end up changing them out to the something. I'll try to fix the fact that that middle target falls down on its own, and sometimes you can't get to it, and you just can't quite jump to get up there on top of that crap. So yeah, we're only going to get a score of 25 because we can't shoot the final target because his ass fell down. Game over. Yeah, you can put some other functionality in there and actually yeah, we'll do more with it as we go. But you guys let me know what you want to see, and if you want to see me ditch the first person part of this and actually move into potentially adding it to where it's multiplayer, let me know. But for now, this is a single player game. I'm going to clean up a couple things here and there maybe, and then I'll re-upload this to itch.io. So that I'll change eventually the way I've got it uploaded. But for now, it's just the whole thing. But if you guys want to see this version on there, I don't know if you noticed that, but our guy moved a little bit. Shoot you, but yeah. We'll polish it up a little bit here and there. Like I said, I'll add in some other functionality of hit markers or something of that nature. Trouble is you want that to apply to the actual actor itself, because if I miss, then that's one thing. But if I hit the target and the target goes away, a regular hit marker is liable to just be hovering in the space. So actually got all three of them up here from the top. And this is set up to where with the collision you can actually shoot through here, but if you accidentally hit the rails of the truck, you won't get the other point. So that's that. We're good to go. Suggestions for this: you need to hit that Discord channel, tell me what you guys want to see, and so if you want me to switch it out to because right now we have the mannequin's hand and everything else is the Cinti characters and Cinti assets. So if we change over to a regular Cinti character for us to walk around as, we can set up a first-person / third-person view that we can switch between. Well, I appreciate it. So we could do it that way. And the one thing I like is, as you're running around, I think you should be in third-person view. But then as soon as you scope in, then you should go into a first-person view where you're looking through your eyesight. Cool. Alright, so that's the latest version. Guys, if you want me to upload this to itch.io, there's a link in... Did I put it in there? It's not on that page, but I will link it in the Cinti Assets page. I've already got one version of it that's in itch.io, and for those of you watching this and you go to itch.io, you can actually get this for free whenever I upload it. However, it's going to prompt you to make a donation. I'm not telling you not to make a donation, but I'm just saying if you can't afford to make a donation, then you just want to get and download it, then you can download it for free. Just skip that one step. It'll let you skip that step. I will change the way that I've got it uploaded at some point to where whenever I make updates, it'll automatically change there. But if I ever decide to make it multiplayer and release a multiplayer version of this, it'll go on Steam, which will be expensive. It will cost me money out of pocket. And if you guys want to see a multiplayer game, then I'm gonna lay it down to this, to where I will get back to working on my multiplayer game. But if you want to see it and you want to play it, then everybody's gonna have to pitch in and start making some more tips and donations. And whenever we have, we'll say it's going to cost me $100 to put it on Steam. Okay, whenever the tip jar hits $100, then I'll upload it to Steam and make it an official game, and I will upgrade things on and off the live stream, show updates on live streams so you can see what's going on with the game, and it'll actually be a playable game on Steam. Trouble is, though, if I put a game on Steam early access, then kind of want to make it pay for itself. But if you guys are going to pay for it to go on Steam, then I will start it off as an early access at free. And then once I reach a certain point, then I'll start charging for it. After I get, the actual project pays for itself again. And once I get to a certain point on Steam, which I'll cover all this in another broadcast. But yeah, we'll go from there. And like I said, If you want me to work on a multiplayer project, then let me know in Discord, and I'll make it happen. Alrighty, guys and gals. I could be doing all this stuff on a multiplayer game or an actual game that's going to get released on Steam, but this is just a first-person shooter, and it'll always be single player. I can't actually set up and do something, but talk to me on Discord. I'll be on Discord for a little while longer, and we will see you guys around.